Let's be brutally honest. Most men spend their lives trying to convince women to like them, while the men women truly want rarely lift a finger. That stings a little, doesn't it? Because deep down, you felt it. The harder you try, the colder she becomes. And the guy who seems like he doesn't care somehow takes her attention effortlessly. Here's the hard truth. Attraction isn't a fair game. It never was. It's not about being the nicest or the most available. It's about understanding something deeper, the emotional pulse that drives a woman's instincts. And once you understand that pulse, everything changes. You stop chasing, you stop begging for her time. You start radiating something she can't quite explain, something that pulls her in even when she swore she wasn't interested. If any of this feels painfully familiar, if you've ever tried everything to make her notice you and still ended up invisible, stay locked in till the end of this video, because the last point I'll share could completely flip how you see women and how they see you. So hit that like button right now, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive into the deeper psychology that most men never learn about female attraction. Let's break this down. Women are emotional thinkers. Men, typically logical planners. That's not an insult. It's biology and psychology at work. When a woman meets a man, her subconscious is reading signals, not words, energy, confidence, presence, the unspoken message behind every glance, every pause, every small reaction. Here's where most men mess up. They try to impress her logically. Compliments, constant availability, gifts, texting back too fast. But the truth is, those things don't create attraction, they create comfort. And comfort without desire equals friend zone. Think about it like this: you can't argue your way into someone's heart. You can only make them feel. That's why a woman can say, "I don't like bad boys," and then fall hopelessly hooked on one. It's not what he does, it's the feeling he triggers, the mystery, the unpredictability, the sense that he could walk away. That emotional tension is magnetic. When she senses that a man isn't seeking her approval, her instinct flips. She starts thinking, why doesn't he need my validation? Who is he? That curiosity transforms into attraction. Now, before you roll your eyes, this isn't about manipulating women. It's about realigning how you show up as a man. It's about taking your power back. The power you've been handing away without realizing it. Picture this. There's a guy, let's call him Jake. Jake meets a girl at a party. She's beautiful, magnetic. Everyone's eyes are on her. Jake works up the courage, starts talking, and she's polite but distracted. She gives short answers, looks past him. Jake leaves defeated, thinking, she's just not into me. But a few weeks later, Jake runs into her again. This time he doesn't chase. He's calm, grounded, joking with his friends, barely noticing her. He laughs easily, not to impress, but because he's genuinely enjoying himself. And suddenly, she notices him. Same guy, same face, but his energy changed. He's not trying to take from her. He's not broadcasting neediness. He's radiating a quiet kind of power, the kind that makes her wonder, did I overlook him before? That right there is the switch we're going to talk about in the next parts of this series. How to flip that internal dynamic so attraction isn't something you chase, it's something you create. But first, you need to understand why you've been losing this game up until now. You were taught to be the good guy, polite, available, always saying yes. But in the psychological world of attraction, that version of you doesn't spark emotion, it soothes it. And what doesn't spark emotion dies in silence. Don't worry, this isn't the end of your story, it's the first truth, the uncomfortable one that cracks open everything else. Right? Now that you've seen how attraction really works beneath the surface, let's go deeper. Because once you understand the shifts, the subtle changes in how you show up, you won't have to beg for attention. You'll command it without saying a word. These are the 7 emotional shifts that quietly flip a woman's perception of you, even when she first showed zero interest. Shift 1. From approval seeker to self-validator. Most men chase what they could be giving themselves. Approval. Every text you double-check. Every joke you replay in your head after she doesn't laugh. That's your brain begging for validation. Women feel that energy. It's heavy. It says, I'll be whoever you want me to be. Just please like me. And nothing kills attraction faster than a man abandoning his own mask of confidence for a scrap of affection. Instead, learn to validate yourself. Make your opinion of you the loudest in the room. When you think, I'm good enough whether she sees it or not, she starts feeling something new. Curiosity. Shift 2. From comfort giver to tension creator. Attraction isn't built on safety alone, it's built on emotional tension. That little spark of unpredictability keeps her attention alive. Tell her how you feel, but don't empty your soul on day one. Let her wonder what's going on behind your eyes. Give her room to chase understanding, not confirmation. It's like a movie that shows just enough to keep you watching. The story is compelling because you want to find out more. Shift 3. From overcommunicator to man of few words. We live in a world of instant replies and over-explaining. But mystery is oxygen for desire. You don't have to play games, you just need to stop filling every silence. Say less, but mean more. When you pause, you give her mind space to imagine. And imagination is more powerful than any line you could memorize. Shift 4. From pleaser to standard setter. Here's a secret most men never hear. Women respect boundaries more than they respect desperation. When you say no to something, you show you have a backbone. When you walk away from disrespect, you show courage. And courage is deeply masculine energy. It signals safety, not the weak kind, but the steady, grounded kind that says, I don't need to control you, but I won't be controlled either. Once she sees that you hold yourself to a code, she starts treating you like someone worth earning. Shift 5. From emotional sponge to emotional mirror. Many men absorb a woman's moods like they're responsible for fixing them. She's cold. He panics. She's distant. He overcompensates. Wrong move. Your job isn't to control her emotions. It's to reflect stability back to her. When she's upset and you remain calm, you become her anchor. You send a silent message. You can feel what you need to feel, but my world doesn't shake. That grounded presence is addictive. Shift 6. From scarcity mindset to abundance energy. The moment she thinks she's your only option, imbalance begins. Scarcity makes you cling. Abundance sets you free. Focus on your growth, your friends, your purpose. Remember that attraction amplifies when a woman senses you have options. Not that you're playing the field, but that you could if you wanted to. That quiet confidence is magnetic because it communicates choice. Shift 7. From chaser to chooser. You are not auditioning for her approval. You are observing if she fits into your life. Flip the frame. Ask yourself, does this woman add peace or chaos to my world? When you start thinking like a chooser, your energy shifts instantly. Women pick up on that shift like radar. And the woman who once dismissed you will start seeing you differently. She'll sense that she no longer owns your attention. That's when attraction often rebounds in the most unexpected ways. You see, these 7 shifts aren't tricks. They're reminders of something primal. That true masculine energy isn't loud or needy. It's quiet, certain, and self-contained. You don't chase what's already drawn to your gravity. Now, I'll dig deeper into the emotional core, the pain men carry when they feel unseen, and how reclaiming your self-respect starts healing that wound from the inside out. Let's slow this down for a second, because before you can truly flip the power, you've got to feel the truth of where you are right now. You're tired, aren't you? Tired of being overlooked. Tired of watching women light up for everyone else, while you stand there wondering what you did wrong. Tired of giving everything and being met with silence. I get it. That pain isn't imaginary. You've been conditioned to think that if a woman doesn't want you, you must be lacking something. Looks, money, confidence, status. But that's not the story. The story is that you've been operating from need, not power. And the world, especially the world of attraction, can smell need like smoke. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. You've been told since you were young, be kind, be attentive, prove that you care. Only no one explained that women don't fall for effort, they fall for energy. The pain beneath the effort. When you chase someone's affection, what you're really chasing is proof that you're enough. That's why rejection hurts so deeply. Not because she said no, but because it echoes every other moment you felt invisible. You remember those times? The friend group where you were the nice guy? The relationship where you gave everything? The text she left unread? That kind of silence feels personal, almost like a statement about your worth. But here's the secret she'll never tell you. She doesn't reject the real you. She rejects the version of you that put her above himself. When a woman senses you drop your world for her, she subconsciously loses something: the tension, the mystery, the respect. Attraction thrives when two equals meet at the same emotional height. It dies when one person starts kneeling. So how do you shift out of that imbalance? How do you take back your power without becoming cold or bitter? Start with silence. Silence is strength disguised as mystery. When she pulls away, don't rush to remind her of your worth. Let her feel the absence of your effort. Because here's what happens. When silence replaces pursuit, curiosity replaces annoyance. She starts replaying your interactions, wondering, why did he stop chasing? That curiosity breeds reflection, and reflection often leads to regret. Then comes self-respect. Self-respect is magnetic. It's that quiet line you draw in the sand that says, I'm willing to lose you before I lose myself. When a man carries that energy, he becomes impossible to ignore. Not because he's playing hard to get, but because he's operating from a place women instinctively respect. He doesn't beg, he doesn't perform, he simply is. And that's intoxicating to someone who thought she had him figured out. Level up without chasing. Once you've gone silent and re-anchored in self-respect, you channel all that emotion into growth. Hit the gym, not to prove anything, but to feel stronger. Work on your passion projects. Upgrade your wardrobe. Expand your social circle. Every improvement you make sends an invisible message. I am evolving with or without you. Here's the beautiful twist. The more you redirect your focus inward, the more people start noticing you outwardly, including her. Suddenly, the same woman who looked past you will glance again and sense something unfamiliar. An energy she doesn't control anymore. And that loss of control, that's what triggers attraction all over again. The moment she realizes her approval no longer defines you, she'll struggle to understand why she can't stop thinking about you. That's the paradox of power. It returns the moment you stop trying to possess it. Now, you'll see how to anchor that power permanently, transform it into genuine confidence, and become the kind of man who no longer needs validation to feel desired. Take a breath, because now you're standing in the calm after the chase, the moment where everything you thought you needed from her starts coming from you. This is where men are reborn, not in the gym mirror or in 1,000 self-help quotes, but in that silent conversation between you and your reflection. The moment you finally say, I'm done proving, I'm just going to be. That decision feels small, but it's everything. The real power was never about getting her. Look back for a second. All that time you spent decoding texts, replaying arguments, overthinking messages. You weren't chasing a woman. You were chasing a feeling of being wanted, of being seen, of mattering. And here's what nobody told you. You can give yourself that feeling right now. You always could. When you fill your own validation tank, everyone who comes into your life gets the best version of you. Not the drained, anxious one trying to impress for love, but the grounded one who already is love. That's when connection becomes powerful again. Because now you're not trying to get someone's energy. You're sharing yours. Keep the energy, lose the desperation. Let's make this clear. Confidence doesn't mean arrogance. You're not saying, I don't need anyone. You're saying, I'm good either way. There's a quiet swagger in that sentence. It's what separates the man who waits by the phone from the man who's too busy living his purpose to check if it rings. When you operate from that state, women notice. Even the ones who once looked right through you feel that gravitational pull return. Because you've become unpredictable again. Not through games, but through growth. She can't read you anymore, and that mystery brings her back. Not because you tricked her, but because you evolved. The cycle of respect. You've probably heard people say, when you respect yourself, others will respect you. Sounds cliche, but it's brutally accurate. Self-respect is visible. It's in your body language, in your tone, in how you handle rejection. When you stop reacting emotionally to every shift in her mood, you stop being optional. The world treats you according to the rules you set, and a man who knows his own worth never has to explain it. People feel it. That's what turns ordinary guys into leaders and attraction into admiration. So what happens next? You don't go back to chasing. You go forward, into purpose, into creation, into mastering your own lane. The man who keeps building eventually stops begging, because purpose replaces loneliness. When you're obsessed with becoming the best version of yourself, love stops being a desperate mission and turns into a natural side effect. You start realizing attraction isn't something to win, it's something to embody. Every step you take towards self-improvement sends a broadcast: I'm leveling up, with or without validation. And eventually, that energy draws the right person, not because you chased them, but because your vibe matched their value. Remember this line: a woman wanting you isn't the victory. You wanting your own life is. Everything begins there, because the man who loves his own path, his craft, his peace, he's never truly alone. He's magnetic by default. So walk with silence that speaks louder than chasing ever could. You've already proven enough. Now it's time to become enough for you. If you watched till here, that already says you're different from most guys. So, don't stop now. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss the real truth behind how women think. And make sure you catch the next video, because it's going to take this psychology even deeper, the kind of stuff that can completely change the way you see women and the way they see you.